Vodafone presents the pre-match.
This is where we get to see Winstrike go head-to-head with EnVy. Two different teams, two different regions, and only one can march forward. The other goes to the elimination bracket. But before we start to break this one down, we're going to go and see what Carrigan had to say after EnVy got knocked down into that third place throughout the Americas.
So far this minor, we have played a lot of different maps. I think we played even 30 maps, maybe the most map of all teams here. We have been grinding so much from day one. So I'm proud of the boys that at least we got a top 3 and have a last chance qualifier to play here tomorrow. Some maps we need to correct some mistakes on. Some crucial mistakes we need to go over today because they keep on happening. If we fix those, I think we can play really good. The best thing is that there's only one map out of the 13 maps we played this tournament where we actually were out of the match. I think the main thing we need to step up is basically mid-rounds where we are not on the same page. Basically because they're not used to the way I mid-round call, so I need them to help me a little more in those situations who has the grenades. So that's our main focus for tomorrow, where if we get pushed out of our comfort zone, we need to be adept on the fly. And that's something you learn over a longer time as a team. And we only had 2 weeks to prepare for this tournament. So I hope we can go through and have a longer time to preparing for the major.
Carrigan, one of the greatest in-game leaders we have within CSGO. He's got a very tough challenge of raising up this EnVy roster. Like he said, not too much time to practice, some few differences, especially with how the Europeans play compared to the North Americans here, Pimp. How much do you reckon he can do just to get them through this best-of-1 scenario? Because Winstrike is really a tough opponent.
He would have to do a lot, because as you said, Winstrike is definitely a great opponent. I think Carrigan in EnVyUs is, no matter what of the outcome will be throughout this tournament, it's going to be a positive thing for the guys surrounding EnVyUs. I think he's going to be able to teach them a lot of stuff, you know, a lot of gimmick tricks, a lot of ways to approach the game, and in general, just, you know, the philosophy of playing Counter-Strike at a high level. He's one of the best in-game leaders and one of the ones with the best prodigy within the entire world. So in that regard, good for them. I think Winstrike is going to be too much for them. I think Winstrike as an individual team, when you look at the players, they are far better than the NA guys. I mean, when you look at EnVyUs roster, it's not a roster that scares me by any means. There's a lot of experience in there. There's a lot of major experience as well. But when it comes to putting down numbers on the scoreboard, I don't really see anything from EnVyUs that can compare to a guy like Nobot or who else? Boomage or Worlded or whatever they're called over there. They're really, really skilled players.
The thing about EnVy is, like, when I saw the lineup initially, we had Drone, we had Cutler, we had JDM, we had Nifty. I'm like, this is like Frankenstein's monster, right? Like, how is this going to work? Like, yes, these players have experience, but all right, we have the map videos coming out. So we have, okay, let's see this. EnVy's going to ban out Nuke, Train, and Cash. That's what I think it is. Oh, there we go. So Nuke and Cash will be banned out. I think Winstrike are going to ban Inferno and Overpass, and they're going to have to take the pick between Dust 2 and Mirage. I would not play Dust 2 against EnVy because that's the map they've had the most experience on. But no, they've actually banned out Dust 2, which makes sense. But this Mirage ban from Winstrike is very surprising for me. I think that's a map that they would have the best chance against EnVy on. This leaves Overpass. Oh, this gets a little interesting. This is a map where I think EnVy might have a slight little chance. Neither of these two teams are very comfortable on this map.
The only thing that makes me comfortable in EnVyUs is the fact that we have JDM, and he's actually been playing pretty well for the EnVyUs squad throughout the tournament. So can he show up with the AVP and take charge of the game and put some pressure on the Winstrike guys? Then sure thing. But on the other side, you have Nobot, who was the biggest surprise for me throughout the series minor, putting up a lot of individual performances, and I think it's going to be super tough for EnVyUs to keep them down.
Well, let's get straight into the game. A nice, fast pre-match here as we are ready to get on to another best-of-1 Winstrike. Can they strike down EnVy or will they battle back? It's time to tell. Scrawny and Launders, over to you.
Thank you, gentlemen. That's right. We're getting right back into the action, folk. No delays. It's like watching Vici Mohan. It comes at you real quick.
Yeah, rush every round on T-side. Oh my God. What an exciting match that was. And this one also is going to be quite interesting. I actually did anticipate this would come to Overpass, but as Bless said, it's going to be kind of weird for Winstrike to play on it. Yep. They don't know what EnVy they're going to get today. As we saw from the Betway odds, and Winstrike slightly favored in this matchup, but just barely, by hair.
If I'm Winstrike, you know, then I'm thinking I understand why they'd want to play Overpass after seeing Furia's performance versus EnVy with it yesterday. You know, maybe they're taking good things from that. But what I'm fearful for in terms of Winstrike is that, you know, Furia are a really good Overpass team. We learned that yesterday. I don't think that lopsided score should have them all too confident versus EnVy, a team that we saw gradually increasing their success on this map. But it's a big clash, a giant fight to the back of the playground. Waylander, all the utility he bought into the round still on his belt. and his teammates scattered around him. He'll use the flashbang to try and get Nifty off of this duel, and that just distracts long enough for Kvik to get the kill.
Yeah, they really held Nifty's attention for a bit too long there. Kvik in an interesting spot. Drone also on an interesting angle. Is that going to be cleared? No, oh, it looks like not, but Kvik still has the better crosshair placement and just wins the duel straight up against Drone. This is a pistol round that comes purely down to these individual fights. And Winstrike are now up in the 1v2. We saw how long it took for EnVy to get into the game yesterday, though they did start on the T side and went 0-9 down, I think, on the T side versus Furia. But Furia were an unknown quantity, and when they were talked to, said that they were very confident on Overpass and were fine to play it. And honestly, the players from EnVy had nothing but praise for how well they played. So it's tough. I think there's still, it wasn't one of those matches where it was Furia only playing well, though. EnVy looked rough.
Not nearly as good as they had in their previous Overpass showings, but watch this. Kerrigan, he had just gotten himself onto the bomb site, and Waylander's so low, but can't find either of the additional kills. It is Winstrike with a pistol on the T side.
Could have been a critical round there, or could have been a critical fight for Kerrigan to get the 1v1 off, but couldn't do that. And it's a series of small failures from EnVy that ended up costing them the round. Winstrike move into this, and anti-eco or anti-force up actually is looks like EnVy are going to invest some money. Cutler drops JDM a scout. The rest of them are just upgrading slightly, and there's only a couple of pieces of utility in their hands. It could go a long distance depending on how it's used. JDM looks for the opening scout duel and gets one shot off, but overstays his welcome and eats two quick fat frag grenades. Now looks like Kerrigan's also going to come out to trade, but gets taken down immediately by the MP5 of Waylander. Now, what is the adjustment from EnVy? They've gotten a certain amount of information. Starting to reposition towards bathrooms. May or may not hear these footsteps, but Winstrike have taken control of the round. Continue to tally up all those pieces of information and kills.
You know, by the end of their each respective minors, there's only one player per team who finished with a positive HLTV rating, and that is Norbert for Winstrike, JDM on Team EnVy. So those are the two names my eyes immediately drawn to. However, if we learned everything with Vici this morning, it's that it can be some of the off-the-radar players that go big when it matters most. I'm still kind of reeling back from Advent's performance, and if I had to choose one of those players, maybe somebody who hasn't performed to par all the time, that's Drone. On Overpass, particularly for EnVy, you know, he did have some very impactful rounds when they did manage to win this map, but they're gonna have to hold off on all that. All right, let's hold our horses until we have EnVy on guns. It's just the P250 stack up in the bathrooms. This is actually a play that we saw Team 1 use against EnVy. So, learning from their mistakes, learning from their opponents. Adaptations are nice.
Adaptation.
Patience.
Patience.
World Edit, though, he's got that long frag off already. Winstrike looking real hot.
Stop making fun of Stunner.
It's the big push off of the couple of SMG kills that have already begun to come in. And it seems as though, as expected, EnVy are just going to get a bunch of kills. Okay. Here's the bomb plant, of course. Winstrike making the most of their losses, but at least EnVy aren't all dead yet.
They can take these guns into the next round, but it's not going to be that good for them. At least save some money, but 2 SMGs is really rough. Waylander's got the proper off angle. We'll anticipate JDM slightly. JDM is somewhat ready as well, but just simply doesn't win the duel through the fence. Solid after plan setup, and Winstrike just to have so many SMGs, so they made a ton of money this round, and the last, even though they lose some. We'll happily rebuy into the AKs. I don't know if there was Boom Mitch or World Edit to have any to recover, but no, they couldn't have been because Cutler and JDM both picked up those guns. So Cutler will be the only one with kind of a weak buy next round. You don't think you'd want to waste his money here and drop the UMP, but it does reduce their chances of being able to win. Winstrike are going to take this round seriously, upgrade their guns, get World Edit on the op. And now we'll get to see what kind of tone they want to set for the match. If they want to go out with the default or something quick. Options are open. Pistol round's crucial. Stars might be aligning today for Winstrike. We'll see. JDM coming out with his AWP for a pick towards mid. But 2 players slink by too quickly. He'll turn his talents over towards long and try to fight against this default. A really well-placed grenade and an op shot missed from JDM. That could have been a free opening, but he hits the harder flick instead. Why not?
Ooh, another. Got ops firing all across the map. We've got Quick trying to give chase here to the CTs inside of bathrooms. If he catches them off guard.
Oh my god, Waylander has $10,000? What?
All right. 6-0 actually at the moment.
They don't even care. Yeah, I mean,
hasn't died, so.
Whoa, that actually did hit. They fall back quite quickly off of it.
Yeah, a little nervous.
World Edit made him uncomfortable, but that wasn't enough. And boom, Mitch will get taken out by the off angle of JDM, who stays strong in his position, low on health, but up on kills. And it all started off with a missed op shot, one of the easier ones on the round, but it's good to see that he's on the server because he's obviously pivotal. And hearing and having the double op set up early on could have caught Winstrike off guard, as we saw on shore B, not expecting a second opera to be present. But now that that's known, how do Winstrike treat it? It's also a much better round from them in terms of weaponry. All the Waylander's money's gone as he drops his teammates. Make sure that everybody has grenades. Potential reset on the books. Norbert actually slinks out of Monster. This could be a huge lurk. They might be aware of this, but it doesn't seem like at the moment they're super concerned with the potential for it to come out this early. No way Norbert doesn't get a kill at this moment. They've just got to sit him. They've just got to let him work and not push anything. All they need to do is not get opt on this round. Norbert certainly gets a flank off. Could be the A site compromise, but what does this actually tell them? Because EnVy are going to have a fight up in bathrooms.
Well, he's not going to pull the trigger on Kerrigan until he starts to walk up bathrooms. Now the CT's double back right into Norbert. A flank from B is the nail in the coffin at the A bomb site. Team EnVy just got wrecked.
An absolutely ludicrous spray there. Long range to get both kills and the flash to assist him on the peak. That was just also beautiful. Norbert, the absolute madman. He makes his way through. Oh my goodness, is he going to ace?
He's going to try to gun them down. And I mean, they sure enough are over here. Position no longer hidden from Winstrike. Hell of a play from Norbert.
This could be a big save. They're trapping them kind of into coming and taking these fights. The flash goes out a little bit high. Don't actually know how Waylander avoided being blinded in that situation. Molotov to compromise Nifty's position, and he'll be pushed into another fight. He's happy to take it. Can he get 2? Nope. Winstrike win with 3 alive. Bomb plant down, lots of money. Norbert, an absolute hero in that moment. Normally when you have a short B push, you've got a barrels guy to make sure a monster rush can't come out. Sometimes it is possible to get the lurk off and do it legitimately, and Norbert does find that timing. What on earth?
Seemed like those counter-terrorists on long as well, but we really weren't anticipating him to go ahead and peek out wide like that. Now they're falling back, knives out.
They're probably confused. They don't actually see him. They're just like, you know, site player dies, and he's like, what just happened? I got flanked. And then he's like out peeking long, and they think, okay, he's not going to peek that right away, or they don't know exactly how long he's going to take to peek it. But it's a continuation spray onto the third guy. I mean, it was just so far away. He made it look so simple. Could have gotten traded. Could have made it a more competitive round. But Norbert goes above and beyond, as he's been known to do.
That's a big one.
Opposite monster smoke out. But as we can see, the bomb is going towards A. JDM over top of the smoke, this time with an AUG. As a bunch of CTs push up aggressively on A, you know, this is definitely what we like to see. EnVy are far back. If they rely too heavily on a flash, it could count against them. They're going to hear these footsteps, though.
Yeah, they know they're close.
Oh, this could actually turn tension away. Oh, the push comes out, and it's a bit too late.
3 players, though. They count 3. There's the 4th. Kerrigan dropped. They know Drone should be sectioned off, and it's for that reason Waylander just hot on his heels, heads up through bathrooms. Goodbye, Drone. Bomb's going to be retrieved. Nifty on the A site. Duel down mid, hits the headshot.
We could trap one more here.
Yeah. Might actually, challenge right through smoke. Waylander's going to be watching this, though, so easily done. That is Winstrike to 5. Envy wanting it, but it seemed like JDM was spotted off by the Opper, and Boomich was doing a good job of holding off for that long peek. So even though they made noise, you know, they got that little bit of information, and then the whole play unfolded straight to the favor of Winstrike.
Such good cover from Boomich. And Envy need to forget about that previous round. They had such a good round on the default with the 2 ops, 2 easy kills early on. And JDM with the 3-piece, Winstrike couldn't even get to the site, so Envy need to forget about the fact that Norbert pulled off that flank, go right back to a double op setup and try again. Imagine if they were just opping barrels. It's actually kind of crazy that Norbert was comfortable walking out knowing they had 2 ops.
Ooh, melted. Boomich just racking up the cash, trying to pay back his debts to Waylander's 10K.
Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if Envy saved one more time and just try to win back, but instead, they're going to go for Augs.
Is this wild or what? We saw Advent on Vici, you know, kind of not playing badly throughout the tournament, but just doing his job, being behind the top heavy fraggers, and that was kind of the success story for Vici. Today, he comes in and just obliterates everyone. Waylander at this moment, Waylander's going massive, and he was the lowest rated throughout the CIS Minor, 12-1.
I don't believe in horoscopes, Gronny. What are you getting at?
I'm just telling you, man. There's something in the water here for the third place play-in. There's no predictability. You said it was anybody's games. Well, that means anybody's performance, because Waylander's still going hard.
Oh, absolutely enormous monster rush. I think Envy had enough for all the grenades they wanted to. I didn't actually see how many counter grenades came out towards Monster. Shore control should have been perfect to shut down at least half that split, but nobody shows up. Singular kill on JDM, and Winstrike go ahead and win a round, rushing confidently into B. And again, yesterday it was really Envy's T side that looked lackluster, and part of it could be credited to Furia, but a lot of it I think is on their own dime. Winstrike here showing us that their other side can be weak as well. Potentially fully prepped for this veto. Kvik did a interview they showed on the desk, and he just seemed upset.
Yeah.
He regarded getting pushed into the 3rd place qualifier as a total failure.
Yep.
That to me was more alarming for anybody that would go up against them, because that would just mean they were just, you know, they're trying their hardest at the time. They have a lot of time to practice. They had extra days to practice. They didn't know exactly who would end up as their opponents, but they did say that they tried too hard to counter strat Spirit, and they felt like that counted against them. So maybe focusing more on just sound fundamentals, keeping their head on straight, playing their game, as they always say.
Sharp individual level 2. To be fair, those last 2 kills Waylander got in the previous round were assisted by Norbert's flashbangs. I just took note, Norbert has 3 kills, and all 3 of those were that fantastic flank on the A side.
Biggest 3 kills ever,
so, you know, he's bottom of the board ADR, bottom frag count, but those were so big, so important. Reset the economy of Envy.
And stole a double op setup. You know, he forced them to force in the next round, so then they saved twice, or saved once, had enough money to buy, but not even an op, no armor. Ultimately, and then rushed B, and again are doing that.
They're going to find it for absolutely free. Kerrigan's the only M4 in the round. He's all the way up on long A, and by the time Envy have realized what's going on, Winstrike will plant the bomb.
Oh, that was actually a really nice Molotov throw. But an instant double dink. And he's out of the round. Look at Norbert, always in CT spawn.
Dude, just playing with him. Having fun. Wanted to hang out with the boys. The Molotov Cutler off. No survivors.
The money grows long again for Winstrike. They've got over 10K on 3 players, and they'll have 4 players stay alive on this one. Doesn't look like Envy will find another kill. Potentially JDM here. It doesn't get flashed. Could go ahead and get one. No, Kvik even wins that duel. Just drone left. He recovers the AK at the end of the day, and that helps fortify the buy. Nifty goes straight to the op. even before JDM. They've got lots of money to come back into this. I want to say this half isn't over. Winstrike just won the most important rounds so swiftly. The B rush was definitely a sound idea on that previous rifle round, raising some doubts maybe for EnVy if they want to start out with 3A. It's been abusing Monster, whether it's the lurk or quickly. That has been the biggest problem for EnVy. They've been pretty fine at bathrooms, especially opping.
Boost predicted by Norbert, but won by JDM. Transition from EnVy is immediately to fall off any kind of A control. It would be the right move to make, seeing as Winstrike do pry for a pick. Trying to couple it. Get rid of that man advantage, Nifty. Be careful. World Edit was so ready for that one. Look at Winstrike just crawl across the entire map. They're going to understand now that EnVy are back on their bomb sites, but not entirely. We do still have Nifty and Cutler pushed up to the exits of Washroom.
They're leaving 2 rifles at B. JDM is going to support Nifty to op long, so they can op bathrooms as well. If this is an A hit, it might be an easy round for EnVy. But the bomb's still left way back in spawn. They probably want to get that on someone's back at this point, and Cutler goes down instantly. Just 2 ops to have each other's backs. One of these dies, the other could get swarmed. Are Winstrike going to try to pull out another lurk? Vic is outside Monster. Once again, the bomb is back at T steps. That is another 15 seconds before they can get it and get back to where they were. Oh, opening duel missed, and JDM capitalizes. Default looks good with the double ops. They're catching lurks off. This half got out of hand, but it was really 2 really important rifle rounds. One because of a lurk, one because of a rush where they didn't have double ops.
Now it's drone to be tested at the final hurdle of this one.
He's got to be sick of people jumping off of that.
Poor guy's always up here. Okay, why not? Just floats on over. Zenyatta's him. 6 rounds up for Winstrike still, but yes, you were right, Launders. I like that double op setup. Just because there was that 3rd player coming up to the A site, we had JDM, excuse me, Nifty floating forward of bathrooms. Sure, he lost his teammate in Cutler, but there's the trade, putting an end to Waylander, who obviously has been that heavy hitter. Drone gives them nothing else. How is that not through a wall?
I don't even know what that is, yeah. This is like no accuracy, so his bullets are just curving. Okay.
Stomped on. But we're back. Double op setup yet again for EnVy. Aggression. JDM goes forward.
It's scary for Winstrike to think about defaulting again. They have not come close to finding an answer for this. Yeah, the score would tell you differently, but it's true. Norbert's ready to walk out Monster, though. This time they're watching barrels. Short B control has not been that important for EnVy. I mean, mostly because they just straight up failed holding it. But they haven't really given themselves a test to see if they can just hold from the sites. You got to respect them going for the map control, but 2 times it's been basically an abject failure, so might be an opportunity to try something different. JDM roams the top of bathrooms. Winstrike haven't done much to push them off. They will bait the op shot out of Nifty, and who's the close rotate? It's Kerrigan with the AUG. JDM sees an opportunity. Does he go wider than this? He has to decide, is someone else going to come out upstairs, or did I see everyone? Oh, fishes him out.
Now there's an opper looking for him, though. 30 seconds up, Winstrike. Kind of looking puzzled at the moment, but JDM's also being flanked by Waylander, and I don't believe there's a smoke, no. So he has 0 cover. Deep utility goes on to the A site. It's a 2-2 split, and now Nifty's dead. That's the 2nd dopper down. Drone gonna be tested once more. This time, no support, but substantial damage off of him. Even further, Quick dropped to 37, grabs back bomb, 6 seconds. He just needs to stop it. He will. There's no round here for Winstrike. It's EnVy with a 3rd.
Drone stays strong. Did they recover both ops? No, it looks like they couldn't get Nifty, so they get JDMs potentially at top bathrooms, or the other way around. It's going to be kind of expensive for them to come back into it, but even with the ops going down, they do enough to allow EnVy to win a round. And I'm saying, their double op setup, it's actually been surprisingly strong. They deny that off from Norbert, a whole different ball game. Good to see that Drone's on the server as well. It's been off and on for a lot of the players on EnVy, if we're quite frank. Drone has had a really bad Overpass game that potentially lost the map, and a really good one that definitely won the map. But it seems like he's sharp today. And Winstrike stay back. No monster rush this time. Kind of a passive situation. Drone goes up for his duel. Another headshot. He's just such a sharp shooter at times.
Starting to really cement himself as this B anchor.
Yep.
It's nice to see him not always stuck on the far side of Monster. That's such an unfavorable position to play. But he's such a selfless player that he will be the person to take that responsibility. We saw him hold it off from short last round. 1 kill from barrels this time, but
this is big. They earned themselves a 4v4 with some time left. Not pushing to execute quite yet. Oh my goodness, was it the... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say, that pole was absorbing bullets from both sides. Who knows who should have won that for real. JDM, too smart on the trade. Vic can't catch him off, and that leaves Winstrike at 2. What an insane shot on Waylander.
what a crucial one as well.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna go one better, tries to move forward here. Anticipating world that that's another duel taken down. Boomich dropped, and it is JDM with a 4K, just tearing through Winstrike, keeping them back at long, hitting them up in bathrooms, not shying away from fights, you know, not just sitting inside of those boxes and waiting for the execution, which can sometimes be so problematic. No, he goes on the forefront.
You know, from the amount of time he took off, it really seems like he knows what he wants. You know, he took his time off, came back, and comes back strong. Looks super consistent, showing up almost every single match. He's really not hurt his rand at all by just waiting, it seems.
When you think about it, the last time that we really saw him at a proper tournament would have been the America's Minor for Boston 2018.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Could be another B play. They lead their way out. Some damage done, though. Boomich and Norbert are hurt. Drone's position could be compromised.
So blind as well, fire behind him, but the bigger problem's Boomich. Now Kerrigan slipping past, and Norbert shuts it down. Good cover here, working between the Winstrike members. On top of all of this, we've got the smoke grenades cutting off JDM, so we praised him for good reason.
That was cool how they let out into B. They had to risk, I mean, they sat on a grenade, but as soon as they had the opportunity, decided to rush out past it. If anybody had peeked into Monster, certainly Boomich would have been killed, but that wasn't the case. And Winstrike get crafty with that round. Keep it light on the exec. It's not a monster rush per se, more of a contact explode, or a light exec, if you want to frame it as such. But that's a very solid round from Winstrike, a way to avoid having to deal with a default. You know, their defaults have not been good enough to get kills from EnVy. EnVy have been very good, especially on A, at locking down those frags. Excellent flash to neutralize. Drone, and also, I mean, they denied Kerrigan from even getting a kill here, but Nifty is the first person to die as Boomich jumped over the site. Typically, teams will push back for that reason, because everybody runs through the path smoke now to kill Pit. And the side smokes can be pretty daunting to deal with, but again, good grenades on the entry. We near the end of the half, and it almost doesn't matter at this point how rounds have been won. Oh, that's a shot missed, I think, from JDM. Was it an op that he had?
Yeah, I heard it. I heard it fire off, but didn't hit the mark. Waylander sure as hell did. Kind of slips away with that entry frag. Of course, don't forget, double op setup. It's something EnVy have been pulling out. It's added some rounds to the tally. The second sniper in Nifty is yet to leave B. Also, drone push short.
Hey, wait. Just calm on the server as we just crossed the minute mark. Norbert here's the B lurk. Position you see some of the best players in the world get offered up. Is Drone going to catch him off? Knows how he wants to play it. Only has a CZ to kill him. Only gets one bullet in. Trade comes out from Nifty. Still a good chance in this round for both teams, I want to say. The weaponry is just good for EnVy. They can ease up on the rotates, play 2 rifles on one side, 1 op on the other, make it an equally difficult decision from both sides. The fake towards A is not going to pull Nifty away, though. A fake towards B could pull an A player to Nifty. So, the rifler staying strong. Can Nifty deliver?
First shot hits the mark. Second just can't. Waylander slides out from Monster, and a near collateral causes Boomich to kill his teammate. Come on, Kerrigan. There's 7 seconds left, and that molly guarantees the plant. So 2 bodies and sets of eyes comes off it, both of which eject through short, and that trajectory could tell him.
Got a Molotov to work with. I could actually threaten a defuse. The problem is he doesn't have a kit. Did Nifty buy one?
We're gonna find out as he gets on top of it. He's gonna go ahead and tap it the first time, doesn't elicit a peek. Problem being now the Molotov's going to expire after Waylander burns himself to death. Second fake off of this, Boomich waits.
Oh my god.
Boomich calls him out, and Kerrigan's going to have to tap that bomb again. This time it's absolutely confirmed. He'll get his kill, but so what? There's no defuse with it. That's Winstrike taking 10.
Absolutely no chance there. That was, oh, he's got to be kicking himself for not sticking it, but how can you? A 10-second defuse. Boomich reads him like a book, and the 2v1 is won for Winstrike. Needed Nifty to get more than 1 kill there, and obviously EnVy were a little bit light. Decent trades across the map, but Winstrike stay ahead at all times and abuse B 1 more round in a row. Last round of the half, round 15, and it's a busted buy for EnVy. We won't have double op setups. Winstrike could take their attention to A, have a much easier time on this round.
Off the flash, Waylander trying to find another entry. He's been so good at creating space for his team to succeed. You know, 0 hesitation on the previous round when he flies out Monster. That's why Nifty's crosshair wasn't expecting someone so far deep. Good flash, though, to support Drone. We do have EnVy taking a proactive stance at this B bomb site, just finding that 1 solo lurk in Norbert.
Yeah, the hardest and most risky push has been made. So Nifty with Monster control now has a T surrounded, and they don't realize it. Drone getting that kill will only tell them so much. They're aware of the potential for flanks. Still an opportunity for them to win, as it is 2 scouts here. I'll probably have to work in tandem to get 1 kill apiece.
He's not going to shy away, though. Maybe he should have. Does take a bullet to the dome. World Edit follows over, but the CTs are still here, strong in numbers. Drone's found himself on the A site, but they've both found themselves flanked by Boomich. There you go. Taking it down into the 1v2, and Nifty has to rotate up with Kevlar, a couple grenades, and unfortunately no kit.
They're going to plant in safety from the default plant. Nifty will work his way up. No kit for him. Don't know if anyone bought one this round. We'll see if he walks over top of one. That's going to be critical. Great after plant spot. CT control as well. Oh my goodness.
Body just on the exit, but Boomich still wins the duel. That's it, folks. That is Nifty down and an 11-4 half for Winstrike. They win the pistol. They convert fully, reset amidst it. 4 rounds is not a lot, but maybe it's enough. We'll be back with the second half after a short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Overpass, the battlegrounds of Winstrike versus Team EnVy in the opening best of one of this third place play-in. It's our second 11-4 in the 2 maps we've had today.
I don't believe in horoscopes, Connor. What are you getting at?
Hey, you already used that line, Launders. All right. Where's the fresh material? Let's go.
Well, EnVy are going to have to come up with some fresh material because their T-side looked really rough yesterday. They have the executes. They had a lot of stuff. They just didn't follow through. And I really just chalk it up to them having a slow start or just being unconfident coming into the day. But if they probably had a good idea of what the veto would fall into today, so I'm sure they'll be prepared to make some changes and probably spoke the most about Overpass over everything else.
Thing is, Waylander, he's been fantastic, and of course he's the man to try and succeed at B. Can't lock it down with more than a single kill, but gets 2, 3. Oh boy. Team EnVy gonna be grasping at air and coming up empty-handed. Quick with a hell of a pistol. 4 frags on him.
Holy smokes, man.
After Waylander goes down.
What a last shot that was. That was something special. And EnVy go ahead instantly call their first tack pause of the second half. This is ridiculous, man. Boom. That was almost like that device ace. Not quite, but it was close. He had this crazy USB ace. You had to be there. Tack pause called, and what are EnVy going to do? This is how the game got out of hand in the Vici North situation. Just, 2 pistols, get money screwed. Winstrike had a solid half. Outside of those rounds too, though, even with the 8-0, were able to pull off straight up B execs, light execs, and they kept it fresh. They were a little bit weak on A, but they avoided having to go to A that many times. EnVy had a hard route to winning the 4 rounds they did, but it's just only 4 rounds. So no matter how well they played or how many small mistakes cost them ecos, they can't look back on that and say anything but, all right, well, we've just got to forget about them because it's time to perform the ultimate comeback.
Try to do so by hitting up long on this round. Full Glocks.
They lose, they're going to play North.
Yeah, oh man. Oh, that can't be tempting. Discouraging, I'd say. But as we said, it's just going to be A. Team EnVy hitting it. Lots of bodies stacking up. Shadows giving way to the route, and it's the lawnmower of machine guns. Everybody's dead in mere seconds. Winstrike, they were never, scared. They were never worried, never left in the dark. They knew exactly what was coming that whole round.
Yeah, that's the key.
They killed them.
That's the key. That's the key, to these Counter-Strike anti-eco rounds, or just any rounds in general. As much information as you can have them free, check. Some small risks, check on CT side. Calculated ones with supporting flashes. And then, as long as you can maintain that information, you'll always have an easy time on rotates, you'll always be prepared for your fights, and you'll always almost come out ahead on the CT side. And as for the Ts, well, that's just about fighting against that. And here will actually be more of an even bout for the Ts to fight against that. So we've got a full buy. Nade comes sailing over mid both ways, doing way more damage to the CTs than the Ts. Winstrike fall back quite passively to the sites. It's kind of a bonus for them, considering they've got a couple of SMGs, but don't expect them to straight up lose this. Love that they're pulling off a push like this on a round where they are less afraid of losing. They are rewarded heavily. Short control and a big flank. They've got to kind of leave someone here in case it is stairs that EnVy come back through. That's the one thing that the Ts have going for them. But the longer they take, the longer EnVy take to go A, the more this is going to count against them. And also if they go back to B, as we can see, CTs have pushed, but not overextended. Just willing to wait patiently.
Oh, Norbert's such a slippery snake, though. He's back behind them. He's going to be given a little bit of time. If EnVy charge off of their first casualty, then maybe he doesn't get to strike, but the defense is still strong. That's the thing. Hit them now, maybe you don't get flanked, but wait, and you will be struck down from behind. The bomb's included here, nifty. And there goes Cutler. Good spray control off of the AUG from Norbert. He will attack long now too, confirming that all of the Ts are in position. Norbert going one better and leaving Kerrigan to go huge. Does get Boomich at least, but he's got no time. 15 seconds, he needs to die, and he will to the hands of Waylander. 10 rounds the difference, and Winstrike making mincemeat of the America's Minor third place team.
EnVy just kind of sitting around there, taking their time, but they didn't even know their fate was sealed. the early push. This is a great flash. You can see running through the smoke just as it dissipates, so he's not even smoke blind on the push. Getting the SMG kill. Waylander coming at the end for an SMG kill. And, of course, Norbert with the crazy flank 3K.
Yep.
Storyline that I hope continues. He is a very, very confident young player. And once again, Winstrike seek out that information. Good damage dealt. This could be for match point. I mean, they most likely will grab it. They go for the monster push one more time. Again, one of the scariest places to push as a CT, but once you get it, it's just so valuable. Who's going to anticipate a flank from here?
Winstrike, man, they are just on one right now. Waylander most notably. I mean, they're not shying away from any flank. They're not trying to hold back any play. When they've decided to do something, they sure as hell do it. 4 on the anti-eco. He is racking up frags at this point. He's going to be shy of a 30 bomb. 3 more and he's good to go. Won't have many chances, unfortunately, because he is so convincing. Waylander takes the ace.
This is nuts. This is nuts. Yeah, looking super sharp on 28 and 7. Oh, man. Obviously, some of the eco kills to pad that up, but his impact was memorable. Crazy good stuff. EnVy versus North. Wow.
In a best of 3 for elimination, Winstrike versus Vici for a best of 1 major spot. Think of that, Launders.
Yeah, yeah.
Saw the aggression coming out of them. We see the flanks and cerebral plays from Winstrike right now.
Gotta be happy for either team.
It's gonna be mind games and headshots, baby. But I take back my butt. This one has to be over, surely. I mean, Winstrike, they're not stopping anywhere. You get this solo walk up towards Fountain and World that it sees the shadow, but gets denied by Nifty at least. So, all right, EnVy, you'll have the round to play out. Minute on the clock and utility. Winstrike just have to play proper if they want to finish it now.
Another push out at B. Stairs, door wide open. Cutler to play gatekeeper, but he'll shy from his post. 2 Ts pushing up bathrooms. Look how much information Winstrike are just constantly getting. Technically, the Ts could just walk onto the A site, maybe get a bomb plan, but they're waiting patiently. They're looking for the CT fights. They're just not finding them. Shadow gives Cutler away, and it's just 2 to defend against match point.
Winstrike walked 2 into short. Winstrike walked 2 on long. Just so proactive in trying to figure out where EnVy are. Not shying away from the fights either. Now JDM's waiting, but it doesn't seem as though Quick will hyperextend. Puts the smoke down just to create that bit of cover. Enables the Ts to push through it, though. And so, bombs planted. Inside smoke on default. Boomich hot on his heels with 2 other CTs all coming in from bathrooms. So Nifty walks back into his death, and it's going to have to be JDM to keep them here in the top side of the bracket. He has been hands down the best player for EnVy, and he's going to have to do it once again. Hits the second shot. The bomb's being stuck. Waylander gets him to go for it. And yes, sirree. It is Winstrike team versus Vici Gaming. Best of 1 for a spot at Katowice. The CIS third place team shows up this morning. Waylander out of nowhere.
There might have been a way to rationalize the first half for EnVy, but Winstrike pulling up both pistols, winning rounds outside of having problems at A, and then bringing it into the second half and looking like how could they ever even lose a round on CT side, picking all the right spots to put for information. They earn this map. They earn their place in the winner's set, and it's going to be crazy. It's just crazy that we get either Vici or Winstrike stickers. They both deserve it. It's really cool.
Nice to see them having a chance to get back, and also just a chance at new faces in this form of Vici. But let's go ahead and throw this one back over to James and the boys on the desk, and they'll unpack what we just saw in Overpass. My God.
My God, indeed, Connor. The way to the win, the way to the major potentially is Waylander for Winstrike. What a performance right off the gate by the CIS team.
They seem to be by far the best playing team in this matchup. Obviously, as the scoreline suggests, 16-4, that's a big win for Winstrike. EnVyUs never really stood a chance in this game, let's be honest. No. There was a few moments where you thought to yourself, all right, we see some of that individual brilliance. JDM had a few impact rounds, but it was always followed up by another bad round, so they weren't able to string the rounds together and sort of do it on a consistent basis. Oh. And when you're facing a guy like Waylander, who out of nowhere decided to drop 29 frags, it's going to be tough. Adding on to that, you have the guy like Nobot not having the best individual individual game, but still being able to find these small rooms where you can literally just exploit the defense of the EnVyUs guys time and time again. He was very impactful, Blur.
Yeah, it was very impactful indeed, right? Even CT started T set kind of reminded me of 2014 or 2013 Nip would get, right? Just somehow managing to find his way behind players. Something special about that guy where he just his awareness of what's happening, and also when it comes down to, you know, just finding the right timing and intuition to make things happen. I actually have this clip over here, should be coming up right about now, where we talk about... oh, we don't seem to have the clip. Never mind, that's fine. We actually have this particular instance where he managed to sneak in from behind, and he actually got 3 kills, made all the way from B to the A bomb side, and he got 3 kills from behind. That was absolutely nasty from him, and that's the thing. He performed out of his mind. Waylander was great, but Envy, I mean, they were the underdogs coming into this one, right? And it kind of felt like nothing really clicked for them.
No, nothing did click for him at all. Envy maybe not learning from what happened against Furia yesterday, right? They picked into this and we thought, okay, maybe there is a chance in Overpass, but nothing seems to really change.
I just think it's the level of EnVyUs that is not good enough, to be completely honest. When you look at this roster right now, I think they're doing as good as they can, and obviously we can't write them off yet. They go down into the lower bracket where they will face North in a best-of-3 scenario. As said, you know, one of the things that EnVyUs have had going for them so far in this tournament is the fact they played 6 different maps throughout the qualifiers so far. So they have some experience on all the maps, you know, with pressure on. That said, though, EnVyUs is not a team that I expect to win against North, nor do I expect them to win against Vichy or Winstrike, as we just saw right here. I think EnVyUs is the weakest team of those 4 who qualified for this one, simply down to the fact that the lack of firepower is just inevitable for this team. You have a guy like JDM, who used to be pretty good at the game, but he's not really to the same level anymore. Kerrigan is the in-game leader. He's trying his absolute best to run this puppet show the best way possible, but it's still not enough. And Cutler and Drone is not going to be the guys that is going to give you enough frags to win the games.
Well, we've got Quick down there at the moment with Jason ready to give us an interview. So let's hear what this man's got to say after an explosive game.
Well, I tell you this, Banks, I'm not going to keep him for too long because they obviously have to play in their next match up against Vichy. But first of all, Quick, what the hell was that? 16-4 scoreline Overpass? What happened?
Just everything worked. We watched the demos of Envy on Overpass. We kind of knew what map we were going to play. We got our plan working and everything worked, so nothing to like lose.
Yeah, and preparation is key, as you're saying. Looking at, though, what happened in the CIS Minor, you guys lost to Team Spirit 2-1 in the last match of that one, putting you guys down here. What happened in that pretty much week since then?
So we decided to stay here in Katowice. The guys from Katowice Gaming House offered us to stay in their place to do a boot camp. So 1 week we did a boot camp and we fixed our maps that we felt that we are not comfortable with, and Overpass was one of them. So that's it. We just boot camped for this week and came here to win.
Okay, well, I don't want to take too much more of your time. Last question for you. Going up against Vichy now in a best-of-1. How do you guys feel coming into that?
We actually played a few practice against them, and they are really good on some maps. But we think we can make it and win. So we're just going to chill now, prepare mentally, and I hope we're going to win.
All right, well, congratulations on the victory. One step closer to getting into the major. Banks, back to you.
One step closer indeed. They'll be facing off against Vichy very soon. But Blair, you picked out a crazy clip for us to look at first here. And this is one where Norbert somehow managed to sneak his way in and completely destroy Envy.
Yeah, the problem with the way Envy played this one, this is just coming in straight into the clip over here, right? There was such a huge dark spot for Norbert to sneak into. Norbert's a guy who likes peeking and prodding, trying to get his timing right. Look at this. 2 players pushing towards short, which is fine, Drone and Nifty. But in that time, he had so much time to just sneak up all the way from Monster. Kerrigan was there throwing a flashbang for Nifty to peek in. And then what? There were no eyes in Monster for that long. I mean, sure, there was a player who came, I think it was Drone who came towards barrels, kept his eye on Monster for 5 seconds and just leaves it away. And that's... I mean, that's not supposed to happen at this level, right?
It's not supposed to happen, and it's fun that nobody's even going for it, right? Because it's such an unorthodox play. It requires a lot of confidence, a lot of... I mean, you got to be a little bit brain dead at that point to do a move like that, but it's working, and he has sort of like a vision for it, right? He does it again and again and again, so were it a one-off, you know? No, he does it again and again, and I believe that's one of the assets that nobody's bringing to the table. You know, following up with great aiming, this is a player that is not only having impact on the scoreboard, which we've seen throughout the entire CS Minor, but also with these, like, pivotal plays. This was a round that forced EnVyUs into a force buy, then followed up by 2 anti-ecos. So potentially that round secured them 3 more rounds.
Yeah, and also the really cool, interesting thing is what James Banks mentioned as well with regards to 6 maps being played by EnVy. They played 6 maps in the entire minor, right? Don't bear in mind, even Winstrike as well played 6 maps. The only map they don't play is Inferno, and going to the next game is going to be very interesting because looking at their Overpass, it was a much different Overpass we saw from what we saw from them at the CIS minor, right? So they have done their homework, and going to the next matchup, right now they're looking the firm favorites in this entire play-in. I mean, who would have thought?
I just love the fact they stayed here for a week to boot camp during the Katowice Major, right? You can do so much with a week of boot camp, and it was clear to see they came in here well prepared.
The correct decision seems to be made by Winstrike, but let's see if that pays off for him when they go up against Vici. We'll be going to a short break, but when we come back, guys, one of these two teams between Vici and Winstrike will be grabbing that major spot. Which one's it going to be? Stay tuned.